Right, the next function of the OS is interrupt handling. So those of you who have studied computer organization and architecture, and I'm sure all of you must have, should be familiar with interrupt. So an interrupt is any signal that temporarily suspends the CPU's current task to handle a request from a part of the system. So your CPU is currently working on some task, some instruction which you have given it, and then something goes wrong somewhere in some part of your system. It could be some issue with collecting input, some issue with displaying the output, like your printer is not getting connected or something. It could be something like your battery is low, you need to plug in or your system will shut down. It could be anything. Some part of the system, some error or abnormality is detected which is urgent enough to warrant your attention. Then an alert is sent to the CPU, and what the CPU is expected to do is pause whatever it is currently working on, acknowledge this alert and work on it, do whatever needs to be done, and then come back and resume processing of the task it was working on. So this is an interrupt, and how this interrupt is handled is using something called an interrupt service routine. So this most of you must be familiar with from your computer organization course. So again, it is the OS which guides the CPU on how to store data pertaining to the current process, go service the interrupt and come back. So if you remember about interrupt handling, there is something called a program counter where your address of the current instruction being executed is stored, and you also store the data pertaining to this current instruction. You store any flag variables or carry any such values, all of that is stored. Then you go, you work on your interrupt, you finish doing whatever needs to be done to take care of the interrupt, then you come back, you retrieve your current information, you retrieve information about what you were previously doing from the program counter, and you proceed. So this task is performed by the CPU under the guidance of the OS. So it is the OS which tells the CPU, put the address of this instruction in the program counter, then go service the interrupt at this location, and so on and so forth. So that is what we mean when we say the OS is responsible for interrupt handling.